DSA is very important in our day-to-day life and in terms of interviews as well. If you are afraid after watching the DSA question, this series is for you. In this series, we are going to top interview 150 questions from the LeetCode. Link I will provide into the description below. And we read all the questions and identify the patterns. So we have different patterns like the 2-pointer, sliding window, hashing, and many more. So if we are able to identify the patterns, that's very easy for us to identify the problem and solving the problem. Not this problem, even all related problems related to the 2-pointer or the same patterns. So hey everyone, my name is Ankur Upadhyay and welcome to the Ankur Code. So let's get started with the first question. So first thing in a question, we have to read the question perfectly. So this is a merge sort array. You are given 2 integer array num1 and num2 sorted in non-descending order and 2 integer m and n representing the number of elements in nums1 and nums2 respectively. Merge nums1 and nums2 into a single array sorted in non-descending order. The final sorted array should be returned by the function but instead be stored inside the array nums1. To accommodate this, num1 has a length of m plus n, where the first m element denotes the elements that should be merged and the last n elements are set to 0 and should be ignored. Nums2 has a length of n. So what this question says? We have two arrays. According to this question, we have two arrays and we have to merge this array into the ascending order and this array also in ascending order, and m and n, m tells the number of elements into the first array and n tells the number of elements into the second array, and we have to merge this second array into the first array, and that's a question basically. So if we are merged, so we have answer like 1 2 2 3 5 6. So how we identify the problem and the pattern into it? So first of all, how we are going to solve into a notebook? Like we compare 1 with 2, which value is less? So 1 is less because we are sorting in a ascending order. Okay, so 1 over there, which value is less, 1 or 2? Both are equal, so we can pick any value. I took 2. So again, which value is less from 3 and 2? 2 is less, so we place the 2 over there. Then only 3 and 5, which value is lesser? The 3 is less, so we place the 3 over there, and only 5 and 6 are left, so that's why we place the 5 and 6. So as you can see, we are comparing two elements, so there is 2-pointer. Okay, so how can we identify? We can use the 2-pointer here, like we have an array kind of shape and a sorted, so we can use a pointer into linked list and other things as well, but in this we have an array and a sorted. So if there is a sorted things, we can apply the 2-pointer technique. So there can be the multiple ways to solve this problem, but we just identify some common patterns to so we can solve any kind of similar problems. Okay, and how can we actually think that problem? Like if we compare 1 and 2, so 1 is lesser, then we compare 2 and 2. So if we pick this 2, so we have to place this 2 over there, and then we place this 2 over there. So that makes our number of operations more, because we have the blank array at the last. So what we can do, we can start from the last. So how can we start from the last? We compare 3 and 6, which value is greater? At the starting we are just start from the less value, but in which value is greater? So from 3 and 6, which value is greater? 6 is greater, so we place over there. Then from 5 and 3, which value is greater? 5 is greater, so we place the 5 over there. Okay, and 2 and 2, which value is greater? Suppose we pick this second array, so I just place that 2, and 1 and 2 already available, so that's become very easy for us. Okay, so let's see the real code, real thing as well. So we are using the 2-pointer technique over there, and we have a one sorted array. So if we have a sorted array, we can use the 2-pointer technique as well, and we have two arrays over there because they are sorted, we can implement it. So what I'm trying to say, so we have m, which is number of element into first array, n is equal to 3, which is number of element into the second array. So how can we solve it? First we compare the p1 and p2. Okay, so p1 and p2, which value is greater? So 6 is greater value, so we place the 6 over there. Okay, now the pointer is moved to the backward position because we start from the last. So from 3 and 5, which value is greater? 5 is greater, we place the 5 over there. Okay, now from 2 and 3, which value is greater? 3 is greater, so we place the 3 over there, and pointer 1 is moved over there. Okay, and what is C? So I forget to mention that C, so that we have m plus n, like we have the zeros over there. So let's start again, sorry I forget it. Okay, so what is C? So m and n is equal to 6, and we have a last position is 5. So m plus n is equal to 6 minus 1. So that's how we get the C. Okay, so right now 3 of 6, which value is greater? 6. So at which position we have to place it? We have to place at the C position. Okay, so we just remove it and place the 6 over there. Then we have to place pointer 2 over there, and we have to place C over there. Right now C is a place where we put the value. Now from P1 and P2, which value is greater? P2 has a greater value, so we add the 5 over there and place the C over there, and P2 place to the backwards. And right now which value is greater? 3 is greater, so 3 over there, and P2 the P1 is come over there, and C is also decrement. So we have to compare which value is greater. So both are equal, so I'm just place this 2, and because this 2 is over there, so we can go minus 1. P2 is minus 1 right now, and we already have our answer. So how can we write a code for this? So as we understand that what is the base condition? So base condition is that if P1 and P2, if both of them, one of them is minus 1 or not 0 or less than 0, so we can remove, we can stop the condition. Okay, so P1 should be less than, should be greater than and equals to 0, and if this condition is satisfied, that means our loop will be end, and P2 should be greater than or equals to 0. Okay, right now we have how we place the values, like we are comparing P1 and P2. So if P1 means there is a array 1 of P1 is greater than array of 2 P2, then what we have to do is P1, the value we have to add the P1 over there into the C. So C is the value, and we will increment, okay, we will increment the last, and array 1 dot P1, because we have to increment, sorry, not increment, we have to decrement the values if we get that values, means after comparing, and if p1 is we select the value from the p1, so we decrement the p1, otherwise we increment the decrement the p2. Okay, that's a simple logic we have. Then the else block, we have the array 1, because we are going to store the value into the array 1, and array 2 of p2 minus minus. So that's the thing we are going to do, because we decrement the values, because we are comparing from the last. Okay, if we compare from the start, so we can increment. So that's the base logic we are that will be work for this problem. Okay, so let's see the other problems as well. So right now we have m is equal to 1, n is equal to 0. So what will be the c? So c will be the 1 plus 0 minus 1, which will become the 0. Okay, so right now we have only array which has the 0 size, right, which is this, and the value is there is no value over there. Okay, so if we compare with this program, so it will go to the p1, and because p2 have no value, so it's not giving any answer to us. So how can we solve it? Because we already have that answer, so we don't need to do anything. Okay, for this value, what we have, the thing that m is 0 and n is 1, so c becomes 0. So we have to place this 1 over there. So how can we do that? Because this loop is, and because for the p2 there is no value, because there is nothing for the p1. So how can we solve this? We have to add another thing after this, equals to 0, and in this we can add the array 1 c. Sorry, we forget to decrement the c over there. So c minus minus and c minus minus as well, and array 1 of p1 minus minus, and that's the same thing we have to add for the p2. Use the p2 and use the p2 over there. So what will happen? It will not go into the first loop, and in this it will check that p1 don't have anything, so it's not put anything over there, and p2 have the 0 element. Okay, so it will check, because c is currently in 0, so it will place this 1 over this. Okay, I hope you understand this. So that's how we can write the program for this, and let me write the LeetCode question answer for this. So we will take teaser pointer 1 is equal to 0, not 0, it should be m minus 1, because we are choose this last element. Okay, then we have pointer 2, which is n minus 1, which is nothing but this 6 element. Right now we have to compare it, and the base condition is that, so that because we decrement the pointers, so it should be the pointer 1 should be greater than or equals to 0, and pointer 2 should be greater than or equals to 0. So if any of the pointer is cross the array, so this loop will be stopped, and we will check that nums1 of pointer 1 is greater than nums2 of pointer 2. So we will comparing 6 and 3. So right now we also need the element like this position. Okay, so how can we do that? We can use the c over there. C is nothing but m plus n minus 1, so it will 5. Okay, after that, which one is larger, we have to place over this C into the array 1. So we have nums of 1, which is array 1 C, and in this C we have to add the bigger value, which is, because nums 1 is bigger over there, so we use pointer 1, because we have to decrement the pointer right now. So if the p1 is greater, so we will decrease the pointer. So that's why I'm use the p1 pointer 1 minus minus, and also we have to decrement the this position as well, where we put the element. After that, use the else block, means the array 2 is greater, but we have to place the elements into the array 1, which is C, and nums 2 pointer 2 minus minus. Okay, right now we have done for this example first. For the second example, we don't need to do anything, because it's already in nums2 we don't have anything, and values already merged into the num1. Okay, for the last condition, we have the value into the nums1 and m is 0. So how can we solve it? Because we can use the thing for the both the elements. So we use the pointer 1, if greater than or 0, then we can add nums1 C, and we will decrement minus minus over there, so the position will be decreasing. And we have nums1 pointer 1, which will be minus, so it will decrement. Same for the pointer 2, let me use for the pointer 2, and because it's a pointer 2 and this is a array 2. I hope you understand this problem statement correctly. Let me run this code, and you can see that we get our output correctly, 122356 for the first. For the second one, we get the exactly answer will be, output will be 1, it should be expected 1. And for the third use case, we have the output is 1 and this is 1. So that's how we can solve this question very easily. So as you can see, that's very easy to identify the patterns and solve the problems. So thank you everyone. If you have any question and suggestion, you can ask me in the comments. So thank you so much for this video, and have a great day.